gossip, I'm on my own. Backbiting, I don't condone. They talk about you fake behind your back, real talk. People business, I don't disclose. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business. Yeah, I'm on my own, I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business. Yeah, I'm on my own. I don't gossip, I'm on my own. Backbiting, I don't condone. They talk about you fake behind your back, real talk. People business, I don't disclose. I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business. Yeah, I'm on my own, I'm on my own, I'm on my own, my own business. Yeah, I'm on my own.
On my whole life, living life like it's alright. Everybody talking fast life, in and out of the jailhouse. Street running, I done done that. I done chose something different. I just want something different. Anybody feel me? Yeah. One thing that I do know, conscience never blind, no. Born raised out of Ohio, beat it down like a high note. Like what it mean when it say high note? Your guess is better than mine, though. We try both, let's move forward. I have something that they don't know. I'm just trying to bring the light in. Give them something that is priceless. Show them what is being righteous. A lot of people ain't gonna like this. Some of y'all gonna despise it. If you have problems, I have solutions. If you have questions, I'm here to help you. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real out here. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real, real. If you have problems, I have solutions. If you need help, then I'm here to heal you. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real out here. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real. Can I be honest in just a minute? Why y'all acting like you damn heathens? Why y'all claiming all these fake religions? When God sent the nation against all nations, Israel always kept the precepts. Heathens never kept the precepts. 2nd Ezra 3 and 33. 2nd Ezra 3 and 36. Light it up like a pyro. Why they looking so surprised though? Like they ain't even in the Bible. But you don't even read your Bible. Isaiah 34 and verse 2. But pastor never even showed you. This word I have them going crazy. Like listen to what I'm saying. That's not what it's really meaning. Man, I wish I had a dime for every time I heard a Christian say the same line. Man, I ain't lying. If you have problems, I have solutions. If you have questions, I'm here to help you. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real out here. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real. If you have problems, I have solutions. If you need help, then I'm here to heal you. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real out here. It's getting real, y'all. It's getting real. Everybody got their own way, do their own thing. Not a serving God, but they know Him. How is it that you got understanding when you not keeping that one commandment? You don't even keep the Sabbath day. You don't even keep the holy days. Now I know. You can be honest. You can be honest. Gonna be honest, gonna be honest. That ain't enough. Nah, that ain't enough. I'ma have to make a phone call to prophets. They gon' have to show up, make it stop it now.
Check, check.
Hey, shalom Israel, shalom, shalom. Good morning. We're not going to start yet. We're doing a mic check. Mic check. Is the mic loud and clear? Let us know if the mic is loud and clear. Check yours, reader. Mic check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Put a thumbs up or let us know if the mics are good.
We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go.
Revelation 14:12 on our backs. That's that war cry and it's wartime in fact. Lines upon precepts, you know the crash. We stay on track while some of y'all known to crash. Pedal to the metal, foot be on the gas. That's making haste, you Terry, then you talking trash. Feeling like Daniel with Orlando Camp. That's that Lions Den, Mac could be the frying pan. Cotton picking never happened, you a liar, fam. We're his chosen, they invaders like Uncle Sam. How can you say real talk when your God ain't real? We the Israelites and one day you gon' bow on Neil.
Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go.
Ride through the city, teaching, show no pity. Spirit of my father's teaching scriptures till it kill me. They call for martial law, but this ain't no checking on me. Building in this truth, moving like it's Tetris on me. Ride through the city, ride through the city. If you an Israelite, then you should be riding with me. It's 144, get up on the mission on me. And the third part, waiting on repentance on me. Say who the next up, if your people, they come step up. You need milk before the meat, you expecting beef with some ketchup. These prophets on the move, with nothing to lose. The old man, I hung them up, left them swinging off of news. Ooh.
Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go.
I'm a Levite, can't you notice? Since I found out who I was, no time for any emotions. So by my side, that apocrypha from a dagger. We can go to war if it's righteousness that matters. Bringing out the lies like the token of virginity. Yeah, it's a crime to hate your brother, that's a felony. Baby in the truth, should only have milk on the recipe. Don't know who you are, then gonna read Deuteronomy. Chapter 28 will give you history, we were slaves. Luke chapter 1 will tell you Israel will be saved. We gon' kick your ass and this ain't MMA. How about that's right, cause we Levites said c'est vrai. Riding through the city.
Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it
Let me
go.
ask you a question. Why they be hating? They say we ain't the Israelites. You know the boy Satan. They full of Jewish fables and they smell just like bacon. Christ had white woolly hair, so Esau be faking. Crafty counsel they taking. All nations coming together to teach Israel to sin. Where do I begin? Two slave ships to Egypt, now from Egypt back then. Christ bringing that recompense by fire. To all you who be teaching for hire. To all you who don't like it, him to sire. Time to realize your oppressor's a liar.
Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. Ride through the city, ride through the city, whoa. We be pulling scriptures, you know how it go.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
All praises. We are not a hate group. Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless you. Officer Ophir here, IUIC Bakersfield. I got Officer
Matthias
as my reader today. We got newly promoted Officer Yaakov.
That's right.
The cameraman. You know, his job was on the line for the last few weeks, but he did well. He's promoted. He's an officer now. All praises. And we got Soldier Shem running IT today. It's been a while since we've been on Daily Bread.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a while since we've been on here, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be on here. I pray and trust you guys all had a good Day of Atonement first, then Feast of Tabernacles. I know this year was a little crazy for a lot of people. You know, had to keep it in their living room and stuff like that. Put the sheets and the tents up, you know, the pretendos, you know. I know that happened this year for some, but some of us, like us here, we still had rented out a park to ourselves, and we kept it full 7 nights out there, and we had a blast. You know,
heck of a time, man.
You want to talk about your experience FOT this year?
Oh man, it was fun this year. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did miss all of our brothers and sisters that like from last year that came down from when we had the West Coast. Right. I did miss everybody, missed that experience, but this experience was really good too because it was a time for us to vibe with each other as a body. We hadn't seen each other in like 8 months, like 7
all
months.
All of us together since the pandemic started.
Right,
yeah.
So it was really good to be able to come together and see the family, see the kids, and just have a good time. All the kids getting big, you know. It was a good time, man. I had a good time.
Yeah, we seen the movie Antebellum out there.
Yeah, we seen the movie.
I mean, I didn't. Y'all seen it. I wasn't up that late.
That movie's crazy.
I came home to see it. The movie was good. Bishop was right. The movie was very good. You know, and that was I remember. I think it was Officer Haziel was like the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie. He was like, "Man, I'm ready to shut this off. I'm tired of seeing slave movies."
Right.
But that movie was like it reminded me of like the female Nat Turner. You know, she got her good revenge. I like that. That's the type of movie I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy that one. You know, because I like the revenge
plot twist.
Yeah, it was good plot twist in that. Anyway, the title of today's class is Spiritual Vigilantes. You know, you've probably seen a thumbnail or meme. I'm a little older. I don't know what's the difference between a thumbnail and a meme. Is there a difference? I probably sound real old saying that, but
I think they explained it last time. So,
they explained it to me last time?
So a thumbnail is like a cover, like a
you don't even know. You don't even know. Either way, y'all seen a thumbnail or meme or whatever you want to call it. The title of the class is Spiritual Vigilantes. We're going to see if that's a good thing. Because you see Batman behind there, right? You know, everybody likes Batman, you know, at least the little boys growing up and stuff and follow through. So we'll see if we're supposed to have that spirit while we're in the truth. If we're supposed to be spiritual vigilantes or not. We're going to find out. But before we get started, you know, we got to stand up, face the east, send up prayers, and then get into this thing. So get your Bible, get your pens, paper, stuff like that. And let's see if we can learn something today. All right?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and forgive us of our trespasses. We forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever. Amen. Holy Father, we come to you today, Lord. We ask you, Lord, we pray for those that are sick in the body, those that are pregnant, Lord. We pray for speedy recoveries, Father. We also pray, Lord, that in this class, Lord, that you will open up our understanding, Lord, that we'll be able to walk away from this class, be able to apply the things that are taught in this class, Father. We pray for leadership as they travel around the world, Lord, as they travel back and forth, Lord, that you keep them safe and sound, Father, that you encamp them with your holy angels, Father. We also pray, Lord, and thank you for the destruction of our enemies. In your Son, Jesus the Christ, we pray. Amen.
All right. Spiritual vigilantes. Now, that word vigilante ain't really a word that a lot of us use on a daily basis or may not even know what it means. So it might be some people saying, yeah, that's right. I want to do that. I want to be that thing. Because they see the image of Batman. He's supposed to be a vigilante. So we're going to first pull up the definition of a vigilante, and we're going to see if that's a spirit that we should be rolling in. All right. So let's pull up the definition. Soldier, let me know when they can see this. All right. We're going to find out if this is the spirit we should be rolling in. All right. We're going to read this definition of a vigilante. Come on.
Vigilante, a member of a volunteer committee organized to suppress and punish crime summarily, as when the process of law are viewed as inadequate.
So these people are self-appointed, and they say, listen, the law is not working, so we're going to take matters into our own hands, and we're going to enact our own justice. All right? Self-appointed. Oh, you know what? Before we get going, let me know. Is the sound still good before we get going? Real quick. Is the sound good? Yes, no? I want to make sure before we get going. Is the sound good? Just somebody put a thumbs up or something. Let me know. I know we got like a little delay, but I want to make sure before we get going. All right. Let me know if you see something, officer. So this vigilante, this person is self-appointed. They don't like how long justice may be taken. Or, okay, good, we're good. Okay, they don't like how long justice may be taken, or they don't like a judgment, so they take matters into their own hands to enact their own version of justice. All right? So, clearly, well, let's see if we're supposed to be like that in the truth. Now, this goes into the person in the truth. Now, you can take that definition off. This goes for the person in the truth that a judgment came out, they didn't like it. So I'm not going to wait for the Lord to fix it. If it's wrong, I'm going to try to fix it myself. Or they don't like somebody in this truth, and I'm not going to wait until something comes. I'm going to force it. I'm going to make something happen, and I won't stop until I bring that person down. This is that spiritual vigilante. This is somebody, let's say, you got a position that you really, really want. You want to be on the kitchen staff, or you want to be on the welcome home committee, but they needed help in janitorial, so they put you there. Well, I didn't want to do that. And the people in the kitchen, I'm a better cook than them. So why I'm not in there? So now I'm waiting and praying for their downfall so I could take their position. And then when that don't work, then I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm going to talk about them behind their back. I'm going to make up stuff against them. I'm going to do whatever it takes to bring them down. This is that vigilante. And they'll say, I'm doing the right thing. The Lord is with me because that person is wrong. I'm doing the right thing. But this is a self-appointed person that want to take matters into their own hands. So let's look and see if we have some of those in the Bible. And then we're going to learn from their either doing the right thing or them doing the wrong thing. Let's see. All right. So let's open up with Exodus 18. And we're going to read verses 12 through 27.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 12. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God. And Aaron came and all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people. And the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening.
For how long?
From the morning unto the evening.
So Moses had company. And instead of being able to spend time with his own company, from the morning to the evening, he spent the whole day judging people. Never had no time for himself. Come on.
And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee morning until even? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. thou art not able to perform it by thyself alone.
So if you continue to judge people, because look how many, this is all Israel right there with him. So if he was to spend all day, every day judging matters, he would never have no time to himself. He would never be able to do anything but that all day long. He would wear away. Nobody could be up under do that, forever at some point. And then what happens when you're gone? You got to train and have replacements lined up. So this is what his father-in-law is telling him. Come on.
Verse 19, hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to go to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds.
So he said, don't just pick anybody. Pick the best of the best. Pick the men that you know will uphold the same standards and laws that you're upholding. So pick the best of them, and then the more seasoned men, you put them over more, and then the younger one, or the younger, or not as been in or has as much experience, is you make them rulers over tens and fifties versus hundreds and thousands and stuff like that. Come on,
rulers of fifties and rulers of tens, and let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge, so that it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
So this is what you see like in Israel United in Christ. You have your local officers and soldiers and stuff, small matters, they deal with it. And then those that's a little heavier, you bring it up to the more higher ranking officers. And then if it's heavier than that, then we bring it to the captain, so forth and so on, deacons to the bishop, right? Now, read on.
Verse 23, if thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace.
So this is setting up order and structure right here. Come on.
So Moses hearkened to his voice, to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he said. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the peoples, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law
depart.
And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and went his way into his own land.
So now listen, this is the same thing at IUIC, right? So this sounds right, and this is good. This is the way we should be operating. But here's what happens. Something happens at a pick any school camp here in IUIC. And that person who felt like, or got a judgment against them, or just whatever it was, this officer of 10 gave me this judgment, or 20. I don't really respect them. I don't really respect their judgment. It wasn't Bishop Nathaniel that gave it. If it was Bishop, or in this case, if it was Moses, okay, yeah, I accept it. But you're not Moses. You're not Bishop Nathaniel. Not thinking that every man that was set up, Moses handpicked. That thought like him, that he trained, right? Same thing in IUIC. From the bishop on, everybody that's in a ranking position, leadership signed off on it. These are hand-picked men, but they don't see it that way. You're not bishop, or you're not the deacon, so I'm going to go around you, above you, or whatever I got to do because I don't trust you. I don't believe you. I don't trust in your leadership. Whatever it is, I don't like you. I'm going to go around you, and I'm going to make you look bad. Whatever I got to do to bring you down because of the judgment that you gave me. Even though the judgment, they get so blinded thinking that they're right, that they want to take matters into their own hands. Now you become this vigilante, and you won't stop. Well, some of them finally will get it, but a lot of them won't stop. They'll keep going till they self-destruct. So if you're rolling in that spirit, you're going to have to come up out of that and just accept whatever decisions or judgments or whatever it was. And we're going to see sometimes it is true. Sometimes judgments are wrong. But let's see how you're supposed to handle that. And we're going to build up to that. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 16. And we want verses 18 through 20.
Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes. And they shall judge the people with just judgment.
With what?
With just judgment.
Now, that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to judge the people with just judgment. Nobody should be rolling in the spirit if they're a leader or anybody. Well, I'm going to pervert judgment. I'm going to do what I want. Excuse me. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to seek out what the scriptures say about the matter and go from there. I'm just going to judge the people according to my own heart. So obviously we're not supposed to roll in that spirit, and nobody wants to be that way. Now, some people make mistakes, sure. But we're not supposed to be that way. Read on, watch.
Verse 19, thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons.
And that's where, it's possible people can go off or they're younger than the truth. They got to get more experiences. They wrestle with judgment. I really have a friendship with this person. It's hard. I see that they're in sin, but it's hard for me to really correct them because, man, this is my friend or this is my, whatever it is. And our instructions is not to wrestle with that judgment or show respect to persons in judgment. You got to look at the matter and see what's right, what's wrong, and then have just judgment from there. Read on.
Neither take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous.
And that's what people will do. They'll try to, this is buttering somebody up, right?
Yeah.
Let me give them a gift or let me say something nice about him, whatever. So if he ever does catch me, if anything ever happens, I'll be on his good side. And you're trying to pervert judgment instead of looking for what's right, And, leaders know when they see stuff like this all right, I see what this person is trying to do. They're trying to butter me up. But the reality is you're still going to get that just judgment, and you got to accept it. Did you go to verse 20?
I'm at it right now.
Come on.
That which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So just judgment is good for you because at the end of the day, what is judgment meant for? Is it to make you feel bad? Is it to hurt your feelings? Is it to have everybody laugh at you? No, that's not what judgment is. Judgment is so you can see the error of your ways and fix it. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is is getting to the kingdom. So if you got sin on you, or if you were rolling in the wrong spirit, or if you off and somebody corrects you for that, you should be thanking them. All right, good. All right, I'm glad you pointed that out. Let me fix that so I don't have this stain on me. Because you're not going to make it to the kingdom with just, you living through sin. So you got to accept the judgments, and trust the process. Sometimes, things take longer to reveal, and you got to trust the process. You got to wait it out, not take matters into your own hands and say, you know what, I'm going to be a spiritual Batman, and I'm going to get my own judgment, or a spiritual Batwoman, Batgirl or whatever her name was, and say, look, I'm going to get my own justice, and I'm going to prove to everybody that this person is wrong and they're wicked, and I'm going to get them and I'm going to show them. You're rolling in the wrong spirit right there, because the person that you're coming up against at the end of the day is your what? That's your brother or your sister. And if you rolling in the spirit where you want to see your brother or sister downfall, you wicked as hell. That's hatred. I mean, you off. If your goal is to, I want this person to be revealed and I can't wait to everybody see their downfall, I can't wait. Man, you rolling in the wrong spirit, because all that hatred, all that bitterness, all the envy that you may have for that person is living their life. They're not even thinking about you. You the one stand up at night and gossiping or murmuring or whatever you're doing, and they sitting there sleeping good and not even thinking about it. And you wrestle with that instead of just saying, let me fix myself. Let me just if that person's wrong, if they're wrong, let me just let the Lord reveal it and handle it. And I'm going to pray for them that they get right. Let's go to Sirach 44. And let's read 1 through 4. I believe that's what I got.
Sirach, chapter 44 and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath brought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding.
Right. So when judgment go out, they give, most of the time, if not all the time. Now, if it's small matters, stuff like that, you can easily, do that. But most of the time, before a judgment come out, there's always counsel, where the is brought up to leadership over that particular person. Then they talk it out amongst each other. How do you see it? This is how I see it. These are the facts. Okay, this is the judgment, and then it goes be presented to the person or whatever it is, small or big matters, right? So that council, come on.
And declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people.
Now that word meet right there means good. Their counsel, their knowledge, and the judgment that they give is good for what?
For the people.
It's good for you. Trust it.
Wise and eloquent in their instructions.
Wise and eloquent in their instructions. And I know I've been on both sides of judgments, good and bad, just being in the truth for the time I've been in there, and you just have to accept the judgment, and look at it as, okay, let me fix myself. Let me get right. Let me do better, because the person that's giving me this judgment, they're not doing out of hatred. If you think that everybody is against you and want to see you or embarrass you, then what's your point of even being here? If you're suspecting that that's what all the judgments are when they happen to be against you or whatever it is, instead of looking in the mirror and say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is some things I got to fix. Maybe I shouldn't be rolling like that. But if you think everybody's against you, then you already wrong. All right, you already off, you already wrong. So you have men that's been in position for years that have no vested interest in your down. They don't want to see your downfall. They want to see you grow and continue to, be a better version of yourself every time y'all around them. So what makes you think that they want to just say something that just brings you, embarrass you or whatever, or for no reason? You got to trust the process. And we're going to find out a little later on in the class where those thoughts come from. And they come from somewhere. All right.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you have to ask yourself, what do they gain from doing that?
What do they gain? What do they gain?
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You like what we've read about Moses judging the people, right? Moses was judged from sun up to sundown, judging people. You think if he had his choice, he would be doing that, or would he be chilling with his guests?
He'd be chilling with his guests.
Right.
He had
so
his own choice.
I can speak for myself, and I know you too. I'm sure you say the same thing. The last thing I want to do is get up at any day, I'm living my life, I'm doing my studying, dealing with my family, whatever I'm doing, then get a call, officer, listen, this happened. I need you to hear this out. I'm like, okay, I got to hear it. I'm hearing it out, but don't nobody want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't wake up every day like, man, I can't wait for the next judgment. I want to, and I can't wait to, I'm going hard on this next person. Nobody wants to do that. It's like every time a matter, like you bring something to me, the officer, I got to bring this to you. I'm like, okay, who is it and what now?
Right.
Nobody's looking forward to that.
Right.
Nobody's looking forward to that.
It's exhausting.
It's very exhausting, especially when it's like something where you got to investigate and you got to really, it's like, oh,
you
man.
make a bunch of calls. And
nobody's looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, we're not.
But so when you do get it, you really try to make sure that you give the right, just judgment, because that's something that you have to answer to the Lord for. That's another thing, too, you don't realize is if I make a judgment or if I bring it up to the captain over me and it goes down, that's something that we have to answer for to the Lord. So we don't take that lightly. We don't be like, oh, let me just give you this, let me give you that. No, it's something that you really, really meditate on, that you give the right answer. But people don't see it that way.
Right.
They just think you ought to get them when it goes against them.
Exactly. I was just going to say, and that's what makes it exhausting, is because you have to go through all these steps and you have to look and search and counsel and go up and down and side to side and to make sure everything is right. When
write your report up and all that type of stuff.
You got to make sure everything is correct. All your T's are crossed and I's are dotted before you hand it down. That's what makes it so exhausting.
Exactly. And then sometimes you have them where it's multiple throughout the day and it's like, what is going on? Dang. We went through verse 4. Let's go to Sirach 45, verse 26.
Sirach chapter 45 and verse 26. God give you wisdom in your heart to judge his people in righteousness.
If you trust the Bible, if you really say you believe in God's words, well, listen, God says he gives the leaders wisdom to do what?
God give you wisdom in your heart to judge his people in righteousness.
To judge them in righteousness.
And their good things be not abolished, and that their glory may endure forever.
So do you believe that, or you only believe it when it benefits you? You know, don't answer that, son. Well, but I'm doing the right thing. I got to bring them down. And we've all seen this. We've all seen this where somebody have gotten judged, right? And then instead of accepting the judgment, they go on a YouTube rant, social media, they do everything they can to be like, oh, they was wrong. They wicked. They this. We've all seen it. That's a spiritual vigilante. Instead of just saying, you know, let me fix myself here and repair the relationship I got. Let me continue to go, keep going, keep doing it until they get tired. And what we've seen is they typically don't get tired. They keep going. They take it to social media and then you say, okay, look, well, where's that at? And the way you're acting? Show me the scriptures to back up the way you're carrying on. And you can't find it. They won't find it. Why? Because they're blinded by their own hatred and bitterness. You know what I'm saying, officer?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Proverbs 27. And we're going to read 3 through 6. Proverbs 27, 3 through 6. Let's go.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 3. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both.
You see that? When somebody make you mad, and you're like, I got to get even, it says a fool, not a wise man. A fool's wrath is what?
Is heavier than them both.
Is heavier than them both. When somebody feel that they done wrong, and at this point, they're not trying to hear no scriptures. They're not trying to hear nothing other than, I got to get you back. I got to get even. I got to show that I'm right and you're wrong. And I would need the world to see this. And I ain't going to stop.
They be like, I'm going to get you, sucker.
I'm going to get you, sucker. Yeah, that movie. I'm going to get you. I'm not going to stop. You can't stop me. And so I'm going to go over your head. Then if that officer don't want to hear me, then I'm going to go to the captain over you. And I'm going to go to the bishop. And if I got to write in an anonymous complaint or whatever I got to do, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do it.
If I got to lie.
If I got to lie, it don't matter. Breaking every commandment, right? Along the way, but just to get you. And they won't, they don't stop. We see it all the time. Keep going. Verse 4, right?
Verse 4. Wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy?
And when there's envy involved, who can stand between that? At that point, that person, when they let wrath get in their heart and envy and all that, read it again.
Wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy?
So when you got all that bubbling and boiling inside of you, at that point, man, you're a very dangerous man or woman. Very dangerous man or woman. Come on.
Open rebuke is better than secret love.
Now, open rebuke is better than secret love, and I get it. I know it's hard. Man, well, it used to be a point where we would stand people up in front of everybody, and you know.
I remember those days too. I remember those days.
Well, we don't do that. We don't do that no more. But you know, but still, the scripture says what it says. Open rebuke is what?
Open rebuke is better than secret love. Because
sometimes you have to feel that heat. Sometimes you have to feel that for you to get yourself right. Because if I just tell it to you one-on-one, you know, yes, chances are you may fix it, may or may not. But if you get up in front of everybody and everybody see the error of your ways, and then as you go on, they ask you, hey, you fixing that, brother? You get yourself right? It forces you, it puts more heat on you to get right.
Right.
That open rebuke is better than secret love. You know, I don't want to embarrass you, so let me talk to you one-on-one. Listen, brother, you got to get this. That don't always work. So sometimes you have to bring it out. Not every matter. You have to bring it out in front of everybody, but sometimes you have to. And that open rebuke, is the Bible, God says, is better than secret love. Did we go to verse 6?
No, sir.
Come on.
Verse 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend.
What is this person that gives open rebuke? The Bible says that's a friend, a real friend. Now, in the world, we consider a friend somebody that will tell you what you want to hear, make you feel good about yourself. But it's not about what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. And that's what you should be thankful for. Is this person right here love me enough, care enough for me to tell me where I'm wrong at, even if it hurts my feelings. They're still willing to tell me what I need to hear. Now, that's a real friend. Read it again.
Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
Because what you may consider a friend, somebody tell you what you want to hear, that's actually an enemy because they let you stay in your sins and they making you feel comfortable staying in your sin. That's really an enemy. We got it backwards. Now as you get in this truth and you start getting more wisdom and understanding, you change your outlook on that. But coming into this, hey, if your friends, told you or corrected you, they wasn't your friends, but that is really a real friend, somebody who will tell you your errors versus somebody that will, pat you on the back and make you feel good and let you stay in the situation that you're in. So we have to get real friends and accept that the judgments or the correction or whatever it is that they give us and work on it. That's the thing. Every day we should be working on something to get better every day. I know one of the things, Day of Atonement, that I've been harping on here is at this point, if I have to tell you or teach you to love your neighbor as yourself, and you've been in this truth 3, 4, 5 years, then there's no other way I can explain that to you. Now what we're working on, like I say here all the time, is what? Perfection. The little things. How do we deal with our wives, our husbands, our children? Are we using wisdom on the job? Now we're at the stage now where we know the big stuff. We know we got to love each other and everything else, right? And you should already be doing that. Now we're working on the little things because we're striving for
perfection.
We're striving for perfection now. That's the stage you should be in. So if you have these type of spirits on you where it's like, well, I don't accept what they're saying, they're against me, then you got to take a lot of steps backwards and reevaluate, your logic and your thinking instead of saying, I need to work on some things. I'm not perfect, so maybe they see something I don't see. All right, and that's the thing that you got to accept. Let's go to, you finished 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to 1 Peter 2. 1 Peter 2, and we're going to read 19 through 25.
Yes, sir. Excuse me 1 second. Trying to get through this new Bible.
That new Bible?
Yeah. Is that 1 Peter 2 and what?
19. I'll tell you a story about a new Bible real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
I'm going to sidebar for a second. Officer Eliezer out L.A., we was at camp one time, and he had this brand new Bible. And he brought it out for camp. And that's one thing you never do.
That's why I'm breaking it in here. That's why I'm doing it here.
He was reading for me, right? And it was like people around, like it was hot. I mean, it was like we in it, but people was listening and hearkening. And I gave him a scripture. I think it was in Peter's too, something. And he was flipping every page. He kept grabbing 2 pages at a time. And as I'm teaching, I'm trying to like stall and give him time. And I'm running out of stuff to say. I'm like, look, give me the scripture. And I could see the sweat beads coming down his face. He was like, officer. He's like looking at me. I know he was like almost wanting to cuss under his breath. Like, damn, I brought this damn Bible out and everything. New one. I mean, he was struggling.
That's
Officer Eliezer, if you watch it, hey, shalom.
That's funny.
But
right there.
I'm sitting there looking at him, and I'm like, give me the scripture. I'm looking at him like, I almost wanted to like pull out my own Bible. Like, here it is. Read it. And he just flipping and doing all, and he's looking up at the people and he's doing. And I remember looking at his forehead. I could see the sweat coming out of the, glands? And just start dripping.
Right. Oh, man, that's funny.
All right, so if I start seeing sweat, are you there? You good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
I can't stall no more.
Here. Yes,
all right?
sir. I'm here.
You may have to pull up Old Faithful over there, your other Bible, all right?
Yeah, I got it here.
All
I got
right.
it next to me just in case. Just in case.
All right, so he the one got this 1611 with the Roman numerals and everything else. Can't even read it. Can't even read. That's what me. I stick to the standard KJV with the numbers on there. I ain't looked at Roman numerals since what, the 6th, 7th grade?
Yeah, it's been
You
a long
try to give me
time.
the find Psalms number 126. I would never find it in that with the Roman numerals.
and the funny part is, I had to ask him before class, hey, officer, you're not going to like Psalms 140 nothing, are you? Because I can't read that yet.
Man, look, some people is nice with that, where they can read the Roman numerals and stuff. I probably can go up to 30.
Yeah.
Once I get over 30, then at that point, man, I can't.
The L's and the M's and the D's. Oh, you.
Yeah, I don't know what is a D. How many? What number is that?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Look. See, it reminds me of math. See, math was all fun and games and easy for me till they started introducing letters and stuff.
Yeah,
Wait a minute,
so
I thought I was in math. But you got me English questions
Right.
now. They was just doing, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm sitting writing essays and stuff.
yeah, I'm sitting in the math class. I was nice in math till they started introducing letters in there.
Right.
Wasn't doing good in English. Now you're gonna carry that over to the math class? Damn. Anyway, let's get back on track, y'all.
Yes,
Where we at? I stalled enough for you. All right.
1 Peter chapter 2.
Spiritual
verse 19.
vigilantes. We're bringing it back. All right. We're bringing it back now. We're bringing it back. Okay. Here we go. I forgot the scripture. What did I tell you to go to?
1 Peter 2 and 19.
I'm in 2 Peter now. See this? All right. Let's go.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 19. For this is thankworthy.
Okay. Now, I want to read this slow because this is something that people, for some reason, this is blacked out in their Bibles. This is for, as I alluded to earlier, right? A judgment went out against you. And maybe the judgment was wrong. Maybe the officer or whoever didn't have all the facts or whatever, or just the judgment was wrong. Not on purpose, or let's just assume it wasn't on purpose. Or I tell you what, let's say it was on, whatever the reason is. Let's say it was on purpose, however you want to slice it. Judgment went out against you, and it was wrong. Let's see how we're supposed to respond to that. All right? Now pay attention to this, because this is going to happen. Maybe not to you, but to somebody it will. Come on.
For this is thankworthy.
This is thankworthy. I mean, this is something you should be thankful for.
If a man for conscience toward God endure grief.
So a man that's doing the right thing for God endure grief.
Suffering wrongfully.
Suffering wrongfully. You got done wrong. Okay, something wrong happened to you. All right. Now let's see how you respond to that. Come on.
Verse 20. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted.
Buffeted when you've been corrected.
For your faults, ye shall take it patiently. But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable.
Is what?
Is acceptable with God.
It's acceptable with God. Let me make that plain for you. A lot of us have children. Your children break your something in the house. And you told them to stop playing, but they're throwing the ball in the house. Okay, I'm going back to my childhood. I kept throwing the ball in the house. You throwing the ball in the house and you break something. At that point, you deserve some type of punishment, right? Whether it's a spanking or timeout, however you want to get your punishment in. You deserve that. And if you get that punishment, you say, well, listen, I took the punishment, I took the judgment. You know, there's no glory in that because what? You earn that. But now if you were doing nothing wrong and you get punished and you take it and you wait on the Lord instead of you enacting your own judgment, now that's something to glorify in. Now read it again so they get it.
Verse 20. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently?
Because you did something wrong. What glory is in that? Because you earned that punishment. Come on.
But if when ye do well.
But if you do well.
And suffer for it.
And you suffer a wrong judgment.
Ye take it patiently. This is acceptable with God.
That's acceptable with God. So when you get corrected or judged or buffeted and it's the wrong judgment and you wait on the Lord is saying that's acceptable with him because he's going to fix it. He'll work it out. But if you get a wrong judgment and you say, look, I'm not waiting on the Lord. I'm going to get even. That's not acceptable with God. Now you rolling into being a spiritual vigilante.
Yep.
You've taken matters into your own hands. You're not trusting the Lord. You doing your own thing now. You out of the spirit. Read on. We're going to go all the way to 25.
Verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Now listen, we all read this multiple times. Christ suffered. He had all type of judgments against him that were wrong because he committed no sin. But did he try to enact his own justice? Did he go out there and say, let me stir up a few lightning bolts for them. Let me do this. Let me do that. No, he didn't do that. He accepted because it was acceptable with God. And that's the example we got to follow. He didn't turn into a vigilante and say, I'm tired of waiting on the Lord. Let me go ahead and do my own thing right now. Read on.
Who did no sin.
See, he did no sin.
Neither was guile found in his mouth.
There was no guile, meaning he didn't go back and forth with them and you said this about me. Well, actually, you did this, and he didn't do that. Read on.
Who, when he was reviled.
Now, listen, let's pull up this definition of revile right here. I want them to see this right here because that's something that we don't normally, say. Well, we say, but I want them to see the definition of this. Can they see this, soldier? They can see it. Read this definition right here.
Revile. To subject to verbal abuse.
To what?
to subject to verbal abuse.
So they verbally abuse Christ. When you read on down, I think it goes in. Let's see some of the synonyms. Rail. Now keep going down. Does it say? Click on. Let's see. Click on synonyms. See if there's anything pop up.
Scold, upbraid, berate, rail, revile. I don't know how to pronounce that. Mean to reproach angrily and abusive.
So this is what they verbally abused Christ, and he did not return fire for fire. Now think about that. You can take it off the screen now, soldier. Think about that. Somebody verbally abusing you, yelling at you, scolding you. You got to respond back to that. You normally, let me yell back at you. Let me match your same energy. But Christ had that come to him, and he didn't do that. They can't see that, right? Okay. So they did that to Christ, but he didn't return that. So read the scripture.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 23. Who, when he was reviled,
when Christ was verbally abused,
reviled not again.
He didn't go back at him.
When he suffered, he threatened not.
So guess what? He did suffer. People think, well, he had all power. He didn't feel no pain. No, he suffered. He felt pain. When he suffered,
When he suffered, he threatened not.
He didn't be like, ooh, when I come back, I'm going to get you. I'm remember you. He didn't do that. Come on.
But committed himself to him that judgeth righteously.
But he committed himself to the Most High who judgeth righteously, meaning he waited on the Lord's judgment. And guess what? I'm going to hit you with something heavy right now. Have Christ got his revenge yet? So how long has he been waiting? A couple of thousand years, right? You got done wrong. You can't even wait a week.
Can't wait a couple hours.
And Christ is our example. Christ is still waiting to get his justice. He's still waiting to get his vengeance. But you can't wait a week. You can't wait a month. You can't wait a few months to let everything play out. You can't do it. But Christ is your example, though. Read on.
Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead in sins should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed.
By his stripes, by his beating, by his torture, we're healed. Come on.
For ye were a sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
So we should be returned unto him and say, you know what? He's our example. He took this wrongfully. This is if it was a wrong judgment. He took it. He didn't go word for word. He didn't say, well, listen, you say this about me. Well, I'm going to say this about you. I'm going to get it. He didn't do that. We got to follow those same footsteps. And this is, I like to say, this is the heavy lifting when it comes to being in the truth. It's easy. Like when the bishop says SPA, he gives that acronym all the time. When he says study, that's easy to do. That's just your own personal time. Pray, that's easy to do. That's just you speaking to the Lord. But here's the heavy lifting, applying it. Now we're at the stage. We got to apply this. So you feel that you was done wrong or you don't understand the judgment. Now it's time to apply this right here and say, you know what? Let me just close my mouth. Let me accept it. Let me rock with it. And if it's wrong, the Lord will correct it. If it's right, all praise. I just got to fix myself. But either way, I'm not going to go tit for tat or railing for railing, or I'm going to get you, I'm going to bring you down. You got to accept it. Why? Because when you go to the top of what we just read, the Lord said, this is thankworthy. It's thankworthy. It's acceptable with him. So don't be taking matters in your own hands. Let's go to Ephesians 4. And this is a good lesson to kind of to go through. Now, Day of Atonement just passed, so we all should be out of this spirit, right? But this can creep back in, because guess what's going to happen? At some point, you or somebody around you, whatever, there's going to be judgments. That judgments will never stop. And when the next judgment comes, if it comes your way or knocking on your door, now you know how to respond to it. If it's a judgment you don't like, accept it. Let the Lord work it out. Wait on him instead of taking matters into your own hands. Ephesians 4, 26 and 27.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Mm-hmm. Be ye angry.
So it's okay. Sometimes, you can be angry at yourself or angry at the situation. So the Lord said, okay, yeah, be angry.
And sin not.
But don't sin behind that anger. Don't let that anger take you to the next step of sinning. plotting. I'm going to get even. I'm going to get this person. Don't let it take you there. Come on.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Don't let that sun go down on your wrath. Meaning, don't sleep on it. Because when you sleep on it, then you start dreaming about how you can get even or how this person is wrong. And when that thought's always in your head, eventually you'll act on it. So you got to correct that before you go to sleep. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Come on.
Neither give place to the devil.
See that? Because when you let the sun go down, you stay angry and you mad, you open the door wide open for the devil to put those thoughts, like I said earlier, in your head. They not right. They wicked. It's always them. He shouldn't be a leader. That sister shouldn't be in that group. Or that sister is this. She's only there because that's the officer's wife or captain's wife. And they ain't right. And those thoughts get in your head. And now you just open the door wide open for the devil. And he's going to continue to put those thoughts in your head until you self-destruct. That's why the minute you know, if you're angry in the beginning, okay. But then don't go to sleep on that. Let it go. Let it go and move on. Just fix yourself and let the Lord fix the situation. And he will. He ain't sleep and he ain't slack when it comes to judgment. It just may not happen on your timing, but you got to wait it out. All right. Let's go to, you finished 27, right?
Yes, sir.
Proverbs 28:5.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28
And
and
verse
verse
5.
5. Evil men.
Say what?
Evil men
The Lord says, evil men
understand not judgment.
don't understand judgment. Those are the ones that's always wrestling with judgment. So if you've been judged and it's you wrestling with it and I don't get it, I don't understand, the Lord is saying that's an evil man right there. But, you know, will you say that about yourself? No.
Right.
But if you wrestling with, I don't accept that judgment. They wronged it. Evil men. Read it again. It's not my words.
Evil men understand not judgment.
Evil men don't understand judgment. And they have to go to Facebook. They have to go to social media. They have to go to YouTube. Whatever they got to do to say, look, they wicked. It wasn't me. It's them. And that's what evil men do. They don't understand judgment. Come on.
But they that seek the Lord understand all things.
But if you seek the Lord, that's the key. If you seek the Lord, you'll understand, you know what? I'm going to let this play out. Or, you know, I got to fix myself because it's the judgment came out. Either way, I'm going to fix myself through the situation and the Lord will handle the rest. That's what somebody that's really, read the bottom part again. Those that seek.
But they that seek the Lord understand all things.
So if you somebody that seek the Lord, you'll understand that. But if you evil, you ain't going to understand judgment. Read it again from the top.
Evil men understand not judgment.
So if you don't understand, and this, say the judgment wasn't against you, it's against your friend or somebody you close with, or one of your favorite teachers got judged or whatever it is. And you feel, man, why did he do him? Like, hey, he was a great teacher. He was this, he was that. Evil men don't understand judgment. And you wasn't there to hear all the facts, you know. So when you don't hear all the facts and the judgment come out, you just got to step back and just trust your leadership. Again, this is the heavy lifting. This is the hard part, actually applying the commandments now. It's easy to apply it. Like when we're on the streets and we're teaching and you tell people, and here's the crazy part about our people. You tell them that, you know, you're God's chosen people, that he set us up to be above all nations. Some fight against that, believe it or not. But most people, man, that sounds good to them. It's easy to accept that. But then you tell them, hey, you got to repent. You got to marry that woman you laying down with, or you got to, then it's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for all this. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. You got to wear your fringes. You got to give up, you know, doing your own personal lust on the Sabbath day. Oh, you mean to tell me I can't go shopping on this? Yeah, you can't do that. You can't cook. Oh, no, I don't. That's the hard part for these people. But the nice words about we're kings and priests and princesses, oh, we love that. But now we at the stage, or you should be at the stage of applying now what you have learned. And I like this. Let's go to, matter of fact, let's go to Revelations 10:10 real quick. Revelations 10:10. I like this right here. Can you find that or what?
Yes,
you struggle with that
I
too? Or that's the
you.
last book of the Bible.
I got you.
He's an officer of 20.
Wow. Wow.
Revelations 10 and verse 10.
I got you. Getting clowned over here.
You might have to pull out that other Bible.
Yes, sir. Revelations chapter 10 and verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth, sweet as honey.
Oh, I heard I'm an Israelite, God chosen people. I'm from this tribe and this and that. You eat that up, man. And it was what?
And it was in my mouth, sweet as honey.
Man, that's sweet. That's sweet to eat when you eat stuff like that. Read on.
And as soon as I had eaten it,
But now, as soon as I actually swallowed it,
my belly was bitter.
then my belly became bitter. Why? Because after I read the sweet stuff, then I started reading, oh, you got to get married. No more sleeping with men and women before you get married. Take care of your children, your wives, get a job, repent, keep the commandments, stop celebrating these wicked, holidays and start celebrating God's high holy days. Oh, that I got to give up family. I got to give up friends. That's the part that becomes bitter to a lot of people. So now when we go back to a judgment, whether it was right, the right judgment or the wrong judgment, now I got to apply what I just read. I can't go back and forth. I can't go to social media. I got to trust the Lord and I got to write it out. I got to fix myself. Now that becomes bitter. Now it was sweet. It was all good just a week ago. But now that you got to actually apply this, now it becomes bitter in your belly. All right. Now let's go to Jude 1.
Found it. Boom. Quick.
Good. And I didn't tell you the verse. 16 through 19.
Yes, sir. The book of Jude, chapter 1 and verse 16. These are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts.
They're what?
Walking after their own lusts.
Murmurers and complainers walking after their own lusts, meaning, I'm complaining, and then they try to bring it to somebody. They try to bring it, whoever will listen, murmuring, complaining about what went down, and they trying to fulfill their own lusts to make themselves feel good. Come on.
And their mouth speaketh great swelling words, having men's persons in their admiration because of advantage.
So now what they'll do is, and they speak great words, and this is lying and everything else, and you know what? I'm going to try to go to that officer over him, and I'm going to try to butter him up, and then once I get him buttered up, then I'm going to tell him, yeah, this person did me wrong, whatever, so I can pervert judgment. This is what they do. Or if that don't work, let me go to the captain over him, and let me do the same thing, whatever I got to do. But let me ask you a question. You don't think that the captains and the deacons know that people do that? You think you're the first one to come up with that idea? No, it's been going on since the beginning of time. I'm going to go over your head. You know what? I'm going to go to Moses on him. Hey, Moses, man, you're a great leader. You're this, you're that. I'm telling you, I've been following you all your words. But you know that man you got over my section ruling and doing judgment, man, he wicked as hell. He been doing this. And man, how many times you think people went to tried to get to Moses?
and officer, you gotta think about it too, because people that roll in that spirit, they got an arrogant spirit.
Yes.
So they think, oh, ain't nobody did it like me. They've never took the route that I'm gonna take to get somebody on my side. You arrogant as hell to think that you gonna get over on men like leadership. You're not finna get over on them.
Not in
that aspect. You're not finna get over on them.
Not at all. And what you do is you make yourself look bad, because what do you think that person you're going to, who do you think the first person they're going to go to? They're going to go to the officer that you're talking about or the captain that you're talking about and say, look, this person's saying this or whatever, and this is what they're saying. Is this what you're doing? Or they're going to investigate. And then when the facts come out that you was wrong, you're going to look real bad.
It's crunchy.
You're going to look silly. But anyway, where we at?
Verse 17.
We're going all the way to 19.
Yes, sir. But beloved, remember ye the words which were spoken before of the apostles of our Lord Jesus Christ, how that they told you there should be mockers in the last time, who should walk after their own ungodly lusts.
There's going to be people that mock you and walk after their own godly lust. And it could be those, people mocking you because they don't like the judgment, murmuring, talking about whatever it is to fulfill their own lust. Come on.
These be they who separate themselves.
They separate themselves instead of trying to build a relationship with their brothers and sisters. They trying to separate themselves, and they can't wait for that person's downfall. So they separate themselves. And what's the cause of them separating themselves? Come on.
Sensual.
Their feelings. That's what it is. They're in their feelings. You hurt my feelings. You hurt me because of the judgment, or you didn't give me this promotion, or you did not give me this position that I wanted, or office I wanted, or this or that, or whatever it is, you did not give it to me. So you hurt my feelings. I'm in my feelings. Now I separate myself. I'm full of emotions, and I'm not going to stop until I get you. Finish that.
Having not the Spirit.
The Lord says people that roll like that, they don't have a spirit. So if you see yourself getting like that, correct yourself, fix yourself. It's not too late. It ain't too late to say, you know what, I've been rolling like that. I've been having grudges against this person or this officer or this sister. Let me go ahead and fix myself now before I go to the full deep end and I can't come back. Right now, if you listen to this class, you can come back. You can fix yourself. And it's never too late to say, you know what, man, I gotta fix myself. I'm mad at this person over here, and I'm sitting there wasting my energy and my time being mad. Let me just get over that. Let me see if I can build a relationship with that person. Let me see if I can repair that, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to repair, these broken relationships, and understanding that at the end of the day, this is my brother right here. This is my sister right here. I don't want to see you fall, and you should not want to see me fall. We should be trying to build each other up, because we're not going to make it to the kingdom. Christ ain't coming back until we get this right. If every other person that come in, we trying to tear down and we can't wait for them to fall and get out of here, we never going to reach the numbers that we need to get out of here.
Right.
That's dividing and conquering right there. Fighting against ourselves, So let's go to 2 Timothy 3. No, 2 Timothy, 3, 8 through 13.
Second Timothy 3?
Yes, 8 through 13.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Now as Jannes and Jambres...
Now watch this right here. I love this too as well. I like using this example. Jannes and Jambres. Now, this goes back. These are actually... what do you call that? What's the opposite of a witch?
Warlock.
Warlock. This is when Moses, he dropped a stick, turned to a snake. They did it. Well, they did it. Then Moses dropped it and ate theirs, right? They were going against Moses back then, but the spirit of them still is today. And we have men like this that supposedly, and sisters like this, that supposedly in the truth. Now watch this. As Jannes and what?
Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth.
So now listen, Jannes has no power when Jannes is by himself. So what does Jannes do? He looks for Jambres. And that could be you. When people are bringing stuff, hey, officer did this to me, and you don't shut it down, and you be like, well, why don't you go use Matthew 18, go talk to the officer. Why are you telling me about this?
All right.
But if you're like, what happened? Ooh, tell me more. What he did what? He's trying to get you to be his Jambres. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, and we'll get into this a little later. We'll get into this. Jannes by himself, he's always looking. And listen, almost every school has one or had one, has a Jannes there, and they always looking for a Jambres. When I say every school, every place in IUIC, there's somebody that's disgruntled at some point or will be. And they're going to look for that sidekick that they can get so they can withstand not Moses, but whatever it is that officer or leader over there or in there that they don't like, or that sister, and they're now going to stop until they get that person. Don't be nobody's Jambres. Somebody brings something to you, say, listen, why are you telling me about this person over here? Why don't you go talk to them and apply Matthew 18? You out the spirit. That's your job. You're supposed to be saying stuff like that. Not, well, this is my friend. Let me hear him or her out. Let me see what's going. No, you out the spirit. If anybody's name come up and it's in a negative light or talking about them and they're not there to defend themselves, you should be shutting that conversation down. You go talk to them. Don't even bring that to me. I don't even want to get in that. Don't want my name involved in none of that. But Jannes know who to talk to. He know who got itching ears. Or she know who got itching ears. She knows. He knows who I could bring this to and who's going to hear me out. Because I need to get some support to tear this person down. Read on.
Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Mm-hmm. Men of corrupt minds.
Corrupted at that point.
Reprobate.
Reprobate meaning you're breaking the law. You don't even see that you're breaking the law, and you continue to do it because you think you're right. Come on.
Reprobate concerning the faith.
Uh-huh.
But they shall proceed no further,
But you ain't going to go far. You might make it a little distant, but you ain't going to go far.
for their folly shall be manifest.
At some point, everybody going to see the foolishness and folly that you rolling with. May not be today, but it's going to be revealed. Come on.
For their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was.
Uh-huh.
But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which come unto me at Antioch and Iconium and Lystra, what persecutions I endured. But out of them all the Lord delivered me.
So now listen. Now you might succeed in dirtying up somebody's name for a little while. You might succeed in trying to tear him down. You might make it a little distance, like right here. You know, what persecutions I endured. But here's what happens though: once your folly is manifested, and it will, your foolishness is made known where everybody like, you know what, that person was wicked as hell. That was saying and doing all that type of stuff. Once that comes out, and it will. It says, but out of them all, the Lord delivered me. Meaning the Lord revealed. I was right and you was wrong this whole time. It may take some time, but it will be revealed in the end. Come on.
Yea, and all that live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution.
So listen, everybody, if you live God, at some point you're going to be persecuted in this truth. That's just what it is. From family, from friends, just whatever it is. But you have to suffer that persecution and wait on the Lord. Come on.
But evil men
and
seducers shall wax worse and worse.
And that's going to be some people that come here and say shalom to you, you know, salute you and all that type of stuff. Shalom, shalom. It says that even them will wax worse and worse, meaning they won't stop. Even if they have to lie, that's the thing about it. They will lie. Come on.
Deceiving and being deceived.
Deceiving and being deceived. So if you see a Janice rolling around or that spirit running around at the school that you attend in IUIC, tell that person, hey, you got to fix yourself. You're rolling in the wrong spirit. Don't be bringing that to me. You can stop that. You can. Don't wait on somebody else. If you see somebody rolling in that spirit, you correct it. If not, bring it to the leader. Hey, this person is murmuring and saying this and saying that. Because that's the spirit of Jamboree, right? They're murmuring and stuff like that, trying to get the Jamboree, trying to get somebody so they can team up against whoever it is they're trying to team up against. You can stop that. Don't wait on somebody else. You do it. That's your job. If you see it, just like Leviticus 5:1, you report that thing. Let it be known. Otherwise, you roll in the same spirit as them. Go to Sirach 4 and verse 27.
Sirach chapter 4 and verse 27. Make not thyself an underling.
A what?
An underling.
Make not thyself an underling
to a foolish man.
Now let's pull this definition of an underling.
So listen, this one.
listen. The Lord is saying, don't be nobody's underling. Don't be nobody's Jambrees. I mean, yes, Janice, Jamboree. Don't be that. Somebody come to you, a foolish man with some foolishness. Don't be their underling. Let's read the definition of under. Can I see this? Let's see. Let's read this definition of underling.
Definition of underling: a person lower in status or rank.
Because all they want you to do is they want you to be under them. They're looking for some support, but they don't want you to be equal. They want you to be under them. They want you to be under them. That's what an underling is. But let's get some synonyms because, I want to, let's read a few of these synonyms.
Yes, sir. Subordinate, inferior, deputy, junior.
You're a junior. You're an assistant to this person right here. You're an underling, but that's all good words. Let's go to the fifth row down, to the fifth word. Don't say it out loud.
I won't say it out loud.
Put your mouse over so they can see it. When you somebody's underling, that's what you are. You're their little
bee.
Itch with the B in front of it.
Yes.
That's all you are. You're their little bee.
Don't be somebody's.
That's what the Lord is saying. Don't be nobody's bee. You know what I'm saying? Be your own man. Be your own woman.
Dang. I don't say peon.
You see that?
I don't even know what nobody's peon.
Don't be nobody's bee. You're a peon or whatever. Look at camp follower. Hanger on when you look above that. You see stooge. You see that?
Dang. Minion. lacking.
minion, disciple. Don't be nobody's underling. Let's get back to the scripture.
Woo, that's heavy, man.
You know what I'm saying? Read it again.
Sirach chapter 4, verse 27.
Uh-huh.
Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man.
Don't be nobody's little b. Don't be nobody's underling. Come on.
Neither accept the persons of the mighty.
And don't show favoritism because this person's got a higher position or this or that. You know, you're supposed to treat everybody with the same, that's your brother, that's your sister. Don't only like him because he's or she's, well, not she, but he's ranked over me. So I'm a kiss up to him and like that. No, don't be nobody's underling is what the Lord's saying. Don't be nobody's little stooge, your little bee, their peon. Don't be that. Be your own man. Be your own woman. Don't let nobody bring something to you and then you don't like them. Okay, well, I guess I don't like them too. Man, that's junior high childish stuff right there.
High school stuff right there, man.
That's not even that's elementary stuff right there.
Is.
My
friend doesn't like you.
Let's go to number 16. And we're going to read verses 1 through 5. Do a little reading here. Number 16, 1 through 5.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 1.
And we're going to find out about some underlings because here's the thing about an underling. They think, well, I wasn't the one that initially said it or did it. I listened to it and I might have, followed him, whatever, because I thought he was right or wrong. But, let's see how the Lord treat underlings. All right. Come on.
Numbers chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Korah and some of Issachar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
So underling don't mean it could be somebody that has a good name. You still, or not a good name, a big name. You could be an underling and have a name for yourself already, but you choose to follow somebody else instead of doing what's right. Come on.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy.
We're all holy. You ain't the only one holy here, Moses.
Every one of them. And the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift you up yourselves about the congregation, above the congregation of the Lord.
Now listen, I want you to think about this. All these names was read, and then 250 other men followed along after them. Guess what? While this was going on, nobody went to Moses. Nobody said nothing until they got what? Till they got their little army together. This could have been stopped if they'd have went to Moses, even if they felt like the Matthew 18. Let me just talk to you one-on-one because I don't want to have this bitterness or hatred. In this case, envy against you. But listen, 250 plus underlings went with Dathan and Korah. Yep, we rising up against Moses. Not one of those men. These were men of renown with good names. Not one of those men said, hey, listen, man, y'all rolling in the wrong spirit. Let's just go talk to him. This is not necessary. Right. Look what he's done for us so far. It was because of him, the Lord powered him to get us out of Egypt. Not one of those men said that. They was all like, yeah, I'm holy too. Why can't I be the leader? You should be a leader too. He shouldn't take all the glory, all the credit. We should take it. None of those men saw the error of their ways. Go to verse 5.
You on verse 4?
Yes, 4 and 5.
Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
He fell upon his face and he's thinking to himself, listen, sun up to sundown, I'm giving just judgment. I'm away from my family to attend to y'all matters. And this is how y'all pay me back. Y'all trying to raise all these people against me when I'm here fighting for you. Read on.
And he spake unto Korah and unto his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he hath chosen, will he cause to come near unto him.
Drop down to verse 20, and we're going to go all the way to 35. So he said, okay, you know what? Since you say the Lord is rolling with you, tomorrow we're going to find out who the Lord really rolling with. And then that person, that person will lead. We'll see. Let's let the Lord choose. Come on.
Verse 20, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
So the Lord was like, separate yourself, and I'm going to consume everybody.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of spirits of flesh, of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with the congregation?
So during this time, Moses could have been like, you know what? I didn't want to, man, all these people rising up again. You take them all, Lord. We'll start over. No, he's still fighting for them. Nah, Lord, these men that sin, because they sin, are you going to get everybody? No, don't do that, please. He's pleading with the Lord. Read on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
So Moses went to them and gave them warning. Listen, these men is wicked as hell. All y'all that's attached to them, depart from them right now, because y'all going to be consumed. But at this point, a lot of them felt like, nah, I'm riding with David and Korah. Moses, you ain't the only one. The Lord dealing with all of us. So, nah, I'm staying right here. Read on.
So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their children.
So now all the men that they recruited, guess what? And with Dathan and Korah, they had wives. They had children. None of their wives said, hey, honey, you wrong. Why are you doing this? None of the children said nothing. They was cool with it. So listen to the sisters out there. You see your husband rolling in the wrong spirit and you don't correct it, you're going to see what your judgment is too as well, because you don't get nobody gets a pass. When you break God's laws, I don't care how cute you are as a woman. I don't care how sweet of the words you can say. I don't care how you do your makeup and hair and nails and look good and all. The Lord ain't giving a single pass. Let's see. Read on.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men,
meaning they die of old age or whatever, if they die a regular death,
or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me.
He said, if they die regular death, then the Lord didn't send me. Come on.
But if the Lord make a new thing,
if something happened to them that's never been done before,
and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them,
with all their underlings,
and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
So you're going to see tomorrow, we're going to find out who's who.
And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words,
as soon as he got done saying this last word,
that the ground clave asunder and was under them.
And the ground clave asunder, opened up. Watch, it'll say it.
And the earth opened her mouth.
The earth literally opened up.
And swallowed them up.
And swallowed all them up.
And their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah.
And all their underlings that went along with it, didn't stop it, didn't correct it, was right there with them. Come on.
And all their goods. They and all that appertain unto them went down alive into the pit.
They went down alive into the pit.
And the earth closed up.
Then the earth closed right back up.
And the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them.
They fled because they could hear them screaming and stuff. They could hear them screaming and crying down there. I mean, think about that. The earth came up and swallowed them up. They swallowed it. They were swallowed alive. Read on.
For they said, lest the earth swallow us up.
Let's run and get out of here for this happened to us too.
Verse 35. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed.
So now listen. That was them. Those are the men that led. That was the main ones going against Moses and Aaron, come on.
And there came out a fire from the Lord,
And then came a fire from the Lord.
and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
Then here comes the Lord getting the rest of the underlings. You ain't get away. So when I say there's no pass, the Lord ain't giving no pass to wives, to children, to anybody. You ain't getting no pass. So if the earth didn't swallow them up, then he came with fire.
No get out of jail free
There's
cards.
no get out of jail free card when you somebody's underling and you follow along after foolishness like that. So fix yourself. You see somebody rolling in that spirit, get Proverbs 26 and 20. Fix yourself. Proverbs 26 and 20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26.
The Lord ain't giving out no passes. None. Not to Big Mama and them. Not to your friends. Not to your family that continue to break his commandments. Or you being somebody's underling. You rolling in the spirit of hatred, envy, malice, all that type of stuff. You trying to get even because you don't like a judgment or whatever it is. The Lord ain't giving out no passes for that. Because even like we read earlier, if you suffer wrongfully, that's supposed to be counted thankworthy because that's acceptable to him. You got to ride it out and wait for the Lord to fix it, not you. He didn't appoint you to fix it.
Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 20. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out.
So if somebody's murmuring and talking, if you're not there to listen, then the fire goes out. The murmuring stops. But if you stay there to listen, you adding fuel to the fire. You're adding more. You're stoking the fire. You're adding wood to it. You just as guilty. Come on.
So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth.
See that? When there's no talebearer because there's nobody there to listen, then the strife ceases. It stops.
As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife.
So when there's coals there, when there's somebody there to listen and to tell them, yeah, you're right, man, they wrong, then all you're doing is kindling more and more strife. We're going to go all the way to 28.
Yes, sir. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly.
Because a talebearer will say the most hurtful things about somebody. They'll talk about their family, them, lies, whatever, and it cuts to the soul. Come on.
Burning lips.
Can't wait to lie and gossip on somebody.
And a wicked heart.
Because you ain't corrected yourself. Your mind is just thinking, how can I get them?
Are like a potsherd
Those are
covered.
broken pieces. Potsherds like broken pieces of a vessel.
Covered with silver dross.
Dross, what dross is, I know that's not a normal word. Dross is when you take gold from the earth, right? And you burn it and you melt it, all the impurities that come out, that's dross. So it's like taking the waste products of something value, and you use that to cover up something. It ain't going to work. Come on.
He that hateth disassembleth with his lips.
He that hateth will try to separate friends, brothers, sisters in this truth from each other. Come on, dissembleth with his lips.
And layeth up deceit within him.
And layeth all type of lies within him, whatever he can do to get them.
When he speaketh fair, believe him not.
Even when he say nice things, don't believe him not, because there's a motive behind it. Come on.
For there are 7 abominations in his heart.
There's 7 ways in him or her that he's thinking, how can I get and bring this person down? That's all he's consumed with.
Whose hatred is covered by deceit.
It's covered by deceit because they're not going to come out and say, listen, I hate you or I hate that person. They're going to disguise it as that person is out the spirit. They're not right. They're wrong. They're wicked. Look what they did to me. Look what they said. They're going to cover it up. Come on.
His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation.
At some point, it's going to be showed through the whole congregation.
Whoso diggeth a pit,
like Dathan and Korah, whoso diggeth a pit for Moses,
shall fall therein.
They actually going to fall in it themselves. Come on.
And he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
So whatever you try to do to set somebody else up, it's going to come back on you. Dathan and Korah thought they dug a pit for Moses. They thought they had enough men to trap him in it. But guess what? A physical pit was actually dug for them.
Dang.
So if you trying to dig a pit for somebody, the Lord got a pit for you, waiting on you. Come on.
And a lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it.
And those that they lie, it's because they hate them. You're supposed to be rolling the spirit of loving your brother, your sister. But now you went from that to hatred. Now you're a vigilante. You trying to get even. You trying to get them. You trying to bring them down.
And a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
A flattering mouth worketh ruin. Go to Psalms 35, 7 through 11. I'm at the speed up here, y'all. Psalms 35, 7 through 11.
Psalms chapter 35 and verse 7.
Come on.
For without cause have they hid from me their net in a pit.
So without cause, like Moses, they had no idea that they had a net and a pit ready for him. Come on.
Which without cause they have digged for my soul.
And they dig for his soul. They want to bring him down. They want to take his position.
Let destruction come upon him at unawares.
Meaning that destruction, when the earth opened up, they was unaware that was going to happen to him.
And let his net that he had hid catch himself.
So what happened? That trap that he had for me is going to catch him. That's what he's praying for. That's what David's praying for right here. Come on.
Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be.
And my soul shall be
joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him? Yea, the poor and the needy, for him that spoileth him.
Right here, verse 11 is what I want.
False witnesses,
Dathan, Korah, Janus, Jambres, all these people
did rise up.
They did rise up.
They laid to my charge
things
that I knew not.
Because they never went to him one-on-one and say, you know what, look, I got an issue with this or with that. How can we fix this as brothers? How can we fix this as sisters? We don't have to go in front of everybody. Let me just talk. How can we fix this relationship? How can we repair this? Because this is what I believe happened, and you saying this or whatever. Somewhere along the line, we're on the same page. How can we fix this? Because at the end of the day, you're my brother.
Right.
You're my sister. So how do we fix this? Instead, you want to go try to round up support. So then you want to do that unaware and then try to bring him down and think that the Lord's working with you. That's not how it works. All right. Not how it works. I want to play this little video clip real quick because this reminds me of a Vigilante. How many of you guys seen the movie Terminator? Well, this is actually Terminator 1. This is the first Terminator. And I like this scene right here because this embodies the spiritual vigilante right here. So this is, I can't remember his name, but he's coming from the future to tell Sarah Connor, like, look, man, these Terminators, or in this case, a spiritual vigilante, you can't reason with them. Let it play. Oh, can they see this? We only gonna play like 30 seconds, so I hope we don't get took it down for this. They can see it? All right, press play.
Cyborgs don't feel pain. I do. Don't do that again.
Just let me go.
Listen and understand. That Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Okay, you can stop it right there. That's what that vigilante is right there. They don't feel pity, they don't feel remorse, they don't feel pain. They will not stop. In this case, he said, till you're dead. Unfortunately, some of them wish that. Unfortunately, they will not stop. Don't let that be you. I'm going to make sure I get even. Nothing they can say or do can stop me. I'm going to keep going. Don't let that be you. Because they don't feel no pity, no remorse. If they can get you down and you at a lower state, that actually makes them happy. They don't care nothing about reconciliation or fixing the relationship. No, they don't want it fixed. They want your downfall. And they can't be reasoned with. They can't be bargained with. So how do you treat somebody like that? You correct them every time you're around them. Fix yourself. Get right. And the Lord's will, maybe at some point they will. But you don't give them any door to come in and baby them and, well, I get it. Just, no, you tell them, look, you out of the spirit. You wrong. You are wrong. Fix yourself. Don't make it, easy for them to stay in the sin that they're in. Let's go to Philippians 2, 14 and 15.
Yeah, because if you give that kind of spirit an inch,
it'll go a mile. Yes, they will. Philippians 2, 14 and 15.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 14. Do all things without murmurings and disputings.
Do all things without murmurings and disputings. Because of why?
That ye may be blameless.
So you could be blameless. You don't want nobody to be able to point the finger at you and say, well, you was listening too. You was there. You was a part. No. You want to be blameless.
And harmless.
And harmless, because you don't want to harm your brothers and sisters. You don't want to see nobody fall. You don't want to ever see anybody demoted. You don't want to see anybody correct. You don't want to see that. Come on.
The sons of God.
Because we are the sons and daughters of God. Come on.
Without rebuke.
We shouldn't need to be rebuked for that. We should already know this is the spirit that we got to roll in.
In the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
Because there's some crooked and perverse people in this nation, of our own people. Not just outside of this, but of our own people. There's some crooked and perverse people.
Among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
That's your opportunity to shine as a light in front of them and apply what you learn. Hey, brother, you wrong. Sister, you wrong. You got to fix yourself. And don't make no excuses. Don't allow no excuses and no leeway for them to stay in that. No, you come around me and you and that, I'm going to correct you at that every time. Without question, I'm going to correct you until you get out of that spirit, or until you feel like, yeah, I can't come around him because I know what he's going to say. That's the way it's got to be. If somebody is coming to you, or if gossip always finds its way to you, or murmuring always finds its way to you, or wickedness always finds its way to you, guess what? It's you. You just as bad. Nobody in this truth should feel comfortable enough coming to you with any wickedness, with any foolishness, with any gossiping, with any murmuring. If people feel comfortable doing that or coming around you saying those things, it's because you wink at sin and you cool with it. You're just like Lot's wife looking back at the world. If that's you, you got to fix yourself. And it's not too late. You got time. Let's go to, but we're running out of time because we are in the last days. We don't know when Christ is going to return. And the bishop, he went over the, what's it, the 10 the oil, right? He just went over that not too long ago. How they weren't prepared. The five.
Oh, yeah, the 5 virgins.
Don't be caught with no oil, all right?
Or the 10 virgins.
Don't be caught with no oil. Let's go to 1 Peter 5. (1 through 11).
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort.
Just read it fast, read through it.
The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Feed the flock of God which is among you. Take the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly. For not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind.
So lead the people in righteousness. Come on.
Neither as being lords over God's heritage.
So we're not supposed to be lords over God's heritage. We don't tell you every single thing to do, like you eat this or do. I mean, we'll tell you what you can and cannot eat, but we don't run your life. You still got to manage your own home. Come on.
But being in samples to the flock.
But we got to be examples. So all of us that's in leadership roles, we should be examples. Come on.
And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
That's what we're working towards, to receive that crown of glory that never fades. So this is why you got to apply what you learn, because there's a reward for you in the end. Come on.
Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace unto the humble.
So we say this, okay, submit yourself to the elder. Okay, yeah, I submit. Bishop Nathaniel's over me. I follow his leadership. But guess what? Bishop Nathaniel has set in order, have deacons, captains, officers that are over you. You got to submit yourself to them too, because when they give judgment, you got to look at it just like the bishop gave that judgment. If you respect his judgment, you got to respect the men that he chosen, over you. You got to respect their judgment as well. Come on.
Humble yourselves.
And that does take humility. You got to humble yourself, because it may be an officer over you that you're older than physically. And you're like, well, I mean, I don't know. But no, you got to trust it. Come on.
Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time.
Because in due time, you'll be exalted. If something happened that was wrong, You'll be exalted. It'll come out. It'll work itself out. Just trust the Lord. Come on.
Casting all your care upon him.
You got to cast all your care upon the Lord. Lord, I'm angry. I'm mad at this right here. I don't think this is right. But you know what? I'm going to cast this upon you, and I'll let you handle it. You got to trust him.
For he careth for you.
Because he do care for you. Come on.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
But if you always angry, you full of wrath, you let this really, really destroy your spirit, there is your adversary right there waiting for the opportunity to plant more stuff in your head, to get you to go over the deep end, to get you to go to the point of no return. He's waiting and looking for people like that. And unfortunately, you see he's been successful with some. Don't let him be successful with you. Read on.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
So the same afflictions, we have the same afflictions. We go through the same thing. That just because we're in the truth don't mean that we don't have no issues, no problems and everything. No, we have the same thing that goes on. So you have to look at them and say, okay, look, they're not perfect. They're striving for perfection. Neither am I. But these are the men that the Lord put over me, so I got to trust them and their decisions. Come on.
But the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while.
After you have suffered a while.
Make you perfect.
He'll make you perfect. Establish you.
Strengthen, settle you.
He'll strengthen and settle you. Even though you feel like something wasn't right or wrong, just let the Lord work it out. He's going to get it. It's going to work out. Trust him. Apply that. Don't take matters into your own hands. Come on.
To him be glory and dominion forever and ever.
To him be glory and dominion forever and ever, because he's the one that's going to work it out for you. Amen. You just have to trust the process. You going to say something?
No, I said amen. That's
amen to that. You just got to trust the process. Romans 8:28.
Sir.
Romans 8, verse 28.
The book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 28.
Uh-huh.
And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
So we know all things work together for your good if you love God. So you might have been corrected, whatever it was, but it's going to work out for your good. You just have to trust that. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4, 1 and 2. You just got to trust it. Everything's going to work out for your good as long as you keep. Did you finish that or no?
No, sir.
As long as you keep the commandments and you're doing your part, it's going to work out for your good. But sometimes you have to go through a little suffering, and that's just to try you. When you look at Sirach chapter 2, it says, prepare yourself for temptation. Prepare thy soul for temptation. Sirach chapter 2, which means sometimes it's going to be right, sometimes it's going to be wrong, whatever it is, but you have to be prepared for that temptation. Come on.
To them who are called according to his purpose.
You've been called according to his purpose, and you keep the commandments, everything's going to work out for your good. 1 Thessalonians 4, 1 and 2.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1. Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you by the Lord Jesus, that as ye have received of us how ye ought to walk and to please God, so ye would abound more and more.
So if you want to abound more and more, you got to look at how we're walking and follow those footsteps.
For ye know what commandments we gave you by the Lord Jesus.
Because we gave you nothing but the commandments that was from the Lord. It wasn't our words, from the Lord. Now drop down to verse 6.
Verse 6.
To 11.
That no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter, because that the Lord is the avenger of all such.
So if somebody did you wrong, the Lord is the avenger of that, not you. Not you. He didn't appoint you to go ahead and let me get my own justice. No, the Lord is the avenger. Come on.
As we also have forewarned you and testified.
We warned you of that. Don't be taking matters in your own hand. The Lord is the avenger.
For God had not called us unto uncleanness, but unto holiness.
Because he called us unto holiness, not trying to take matters in your own hand, but to trust him.
He therefore that despiseth not man, but God.
So when you despise anything, you're not despising that man or woman that you're against. You're despising God. You're going against him.
Who hath also given us unto us his Holy Spirit.
Come on.
But as touching brotherly love.
But as concerning brotherly love.
Ye need not that I write unto you.
You should need that I write unto you this.
For ye yourselves are taught of God to love one another.
Because you've been taught from the beginning to love one another, not try to tear nobody down and bring them down. Come on.
And indeed ye do it towards all the brethren, which are
In Macedonia.
thank you, which are in all Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that ye increase more and more.
We beseech you that you increase more and more. You know, that you start doing the right thing more and more, not leaning on your own understanding, but trusting the Lord.
And that ye study to be quiet.
Study to be quiet.
And to do your own business.
And to do your own business.
And to work with your own hands as we commanded you.
Translation, mind your own business. When you hear stuff going on with other people, this and that, if you're not going to correct them or whatever, just mind your own business. Don't be hopping into stuff. Like you see, like with Dathan and Korah, the 250 extra people that joined them and their families and stuff. Let me hop on to that. What's going on? Tell me. Mind your own just minding your own business will keep you out of a lot of trouble. I know it's hard to do. People have itching ears, but just minding your own business will keep you out of trouble. Sirach, chapter 22:22.
Sirach, chapter 22 and verse 22.
So when in doubt, mind your own business. Come on.
If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend,
if you have opened your mouth against your friend,
fear not,
because it's not the end. You're still breathing. They're still breathing.
For there may be reconciliation.
Because there's still a chance for reconciliation. Come on.
Except for upbraiding.
Except for upbraiding.
Or pride.
Or pride.
Or disclosing of secrets.
Or telling lies or things about somebody, the juicy stuff and all that type of stuff because you want to hurt their feelings or get even with them.
Or a treacherous wound.
Uh-huh.
For these things, every friend will depart.
Because these people will, at that point, it'd be hard to reconcile at that point when you've gone that far. But if you have gone far, go to that person and fix it because there may be a chance for reconciliation. And if that person's in the spirit, they're going to be like, you know what? Now, I may never trust you and be full friends with like I used to be or whatever. But as far as what you did, hey, I forgive you of that. You know, I'm just moving on and we move past that. But work towards reconciliation if you have gone far or gone too far already. Here's your chance to reconcile with the person that you had the issue with. Amos 9:9, and here's why. We're almost done. 2 scriptures, and we out of here.
The book of Amos, chapter 9, and verse 9. For lo, I will command. For lo, I will command. And I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a
sieve.
Thank you. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
So the Lord has said, out of all this earth right here, amongst all the nations, he's going to sift all these nations, and not the least Israelite that's been called will fall on the ground or have a fall, right? Will fall in the end. So the Lord is not trying to lose any one of us. That's the same spirit we got to have. If somebody let's say they really did do you wrong. At the end of the day, you don't want that person to fall. You don't want to lose that brother or sister. You want to maintain that brother or sister, that relationship, build it, make it stronger, make it better. But you don't want to see your brother fall on the ground. Because the Lord is saying in all the wickedness that we've done, he's not going to let the least one of us fall on the ground. So we have to have that same spirit with our brother and sister. I don't want to see you fall. I just want to see you get better. And it doesn't involve me rounding up support to tear you down and being a spiritual vigilante. It doesn't require that. What it does require is me praying, fixing myself, and asking the Lord, how can I help this brother? How can I help this sister? Not how can I tear them down? Last scripture, Romans 12. And verse 17 through 21.
Romans. So Romans 12?
Yes.
Chapter 17?
No.
Romans chapter 12, verse
17 through 21.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
So if somebody did you wrong, don't say, you did this to me, I'm going to get you right back.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Mm-hmm. Be honest with everybody. If you have an issue with somebody, talk to them one-on-one. Don't try to drum up support.
If it be possible.
As
much as lieth in you.
See that as much as lieth within you. Don't quit. Don't give. No. Oh, I can't do that. That's taking me. No, it's not taking you too far. As much as lieth in you.
Live peaceably with all men.
That doesn't mean get even with everybody. Live peaceably with all men. That should be especially to your brothers and sisters in the truth.
Exactly.
They're the ones going to war fighting with you, and you trying to tear them down. No, live peaceably among all men, especially your brothers and sisters in the truth, as much as possible. Come on.
Dearly beloved, avenge not your own selves.
Don't avenge your, for your own self to get even. Come on.
But rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord.
So the Lord is saying, look, if somebody did you wrong and they didn't fix themselves, they're not repenting, they're not getting right, leave that up to me. I got it. I'll get them. Vengeance is mine. And listen, Christ is our example, right? We went through this earlier today. If he's still waiting for his vengeance, he's been waiting a couple of 1,000 years to get even. You can't wait a week or two. You can't wait a month or two. Right. You can't wait till the Lord fix it for you. You can't wait. He's not asking you to wait thousands of years. Like he's waiting right now. Right. He's just saying, wait on him. He'll take care of this. He'll fix this out. He'll fix this for you. Just wait on him because vengeance is his. If somebody really needs to be punished, he's going to do it, not you. Read on.
Verse 20. Therefore, if thine enemy's hunger, feed him.
So even if that person did you wrong, you still feed that person.
If he thirst, give him drink.
Give him something to drink. Don't just, still. I know this is hard. It may be hard, but you still got to take care of that brother, that sister that did you wrong.
For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head.
You'll heap coals of fire. That will cause more pain than you can ever cause to them physically or whatever, setting them up, is you still being good to them, because they're going to be thinking to themselves, man, I did everything I could to tear this person down, and in a position of when I need somebody, they right there to help me. That will destroy them.
Hey, you know what that is?
Uh-huh.
That's that embarrassment, like how you was talking about, when you're trying to find the page and you see the sweat beat. That's the heat, because you feel embarrassed. But when somebody do you right after you've been doing them wrong,
yeah.
You feel mighty embarrassed after that, man.
Absolutely, like, man, why'd I do that?
Yeah,
I was wrong. You heap coals of fire on their head. Read on.
Verse 21.
Because it all comes down to this right here.
Be not overcome of evil.
Don't be overcome with evil. You leave the door open for Satan to put these thoughts in your head. You trying to get even. You trying to get them.
But overcome evil.
With good. With keeping God's commandments. All praises to the Most High. I pray y'all got something out of the class today. Don't be that spiritual vigilante. Wait on the Lord. He will enact vengeance, and he'll take care of it, or he'll just have that person see the error in their ways and fix themselves. You repair that relationship, and y'all continue to grow as brothers and sisters in this truth and roll in the right spirit. Again, I pray y'all got something out of the class today. Anything you want to say before we?
No, we got new moon tonight.
Yes, double Sabbath. New moon's tonight. Double Sabbath, so plan accordingly. Gas up your vehicles. I gotta gas up one of mine too. Go to the grocery store, get your food. You can cook. You can't buy and sell once the sun goes down. It's a double Sabbath, but you can cook on this one. But now the Sabbath day, seventh day Sabbath day, you can't buy, sell, or cook on that. But you got to get everything you got. So today's your prep day. Normally it's Friday, right? Today's your prep day, so get all the things you need to get you through 2 days. Otherwise, you're going to do a involuntary fast.
Right, I was about to say.
So if you want to do an involuntary fast, go for it.
Hey,
that's on you, But go to that grocery store, get you something, that's going to sustain you and your family, and bring in this new moon with joyfulness and gladness. And then the Sabbath day with joyfulness and gladness, So, hey, all praise to the Most High. You should be thankful. You're in this truth. You know right from wrong. And now you're applying what's right. And you're growing, gaining more wisdom and understanding. I'm thankful for these. And I used to be like, dang, double Sabbath. Man, I got a lot of stuff I got to get out. Man, what? Now I enjoy it.
Right, for real, because we get a chance to kick it on Thursday, or do whatever we can, maybe Zoom or whatever, play games.
That's right.
And then Sabbath day come around, the next day we get to kick it again. So, that makes it for a good week right there. 2 days.
That's right. That's
2
right.
days out the week. Yeah, I like
That's right. Shout out! I was talking to Officer Gabar of IUIC Las Vegas for the first time, because they're a smaller camp like us. For the first time, they're doing 31 days of camp
Seen
straight.
that, yeah.
So they're on like day 2 or day 3. Some of us is going out there on Sunday to go with them to help them out and be a part of that. But that's inspiration for us because that's the next step for us is being able to do 31 days of camp. I love to be able to do that with this camp here. And that's something that's one of our immediate goals that we want to accomplish. So shout out to Officer Gabar, their first time doing 31 days straight of camp. Lord, so we can join you for some of those days. We've been to camp before out in Vegas, and it's a different it's a different vibe going to camp there because off the rip, everybody's drunk, everybody's high, everybody is on one off the rip. So you got to be fast, you got to be quick, you got to be ready, you got to be in the spirit out there when you teaching, and they going, into the belly of the beast, in Sin City.
Yeah, Sin City.
In Sin City. So shout out to Officer Gabar, Officer Yawan, y'all holding it down, and the rest of the officers and soldiers. Lord, so we can go out there and join you for these 31 days. Be prepared for this double Sabbath day. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. With that, I say shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Shalom. Pray y'all got something out of it. It's always a blessing and an honor to be able to teach our daily bread. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, one more thing. We're not individually able to travel throughout the 4 corners of the earth and spread this gospel, but we do have a system in place. And as they start to loosen up the travel restrictions, we'll be able to travel to Africa, to Central America, and all these different places, islands, to bring this gospel, this truth out. How can we help? Well, we got a system in place, and it's called the Booster Club. With the Booster Club, you can donate small amounts of money, to help send the bishop, deacons, and captains around the world spreading this gospel. Because then and only then, when this gospel spread throughout the 4 corners, will Christ return. So how can you join the Booster Club? Well, send an email to IUIC. You have the email address?
It's IUIC.
Oh, yeah. IUIC
fundraising.
Yes.
At IsraelUnite.org.
That's right. IUIC.fundraising@IsraelUnite.org. You can donate to the Booster Club. You can join and be in the group where they talk about different missions that we're going to be doing. And it's really cool how everybody in there is supporting and excited to help, spread this gospel. And it just, it's not a lot of money that they're asking for. And it's when you're available, when you can, help out. With that, check it out. I strongly advise you to check it out. Anyway, with that, I say shalom. Most High in Christ bless you.
Shalom, Israel.
I was born to be free, and this truth opened my mind to see the Most High shine His light upon me. Proverbs 6:23, and he shall know the truth.
Israel United in Christ is not affiliated with any other Israelite church. We are a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any faith, ethnicity, or gender. Be advised that if anyone hears or knows of any plot to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Give him life, shed him blood, sacrifice to get with safety. Most I turn him up on Israel cause of we iniquity.
Yeah. I got my brother Malachi with me. LK now, what's up, bro?